Welcome back to some professional Starcraft 2. From the ESL Open Cups every week, bringing the best of the best together. Fighting for money, of course, and points to participate in those major tournaments. We bring you two of the best Protoss in the world. In the top right, the biggest of boys from the Dick Boy clan. Always exciting, always entertaining, and always authentic. It is Party. And in the bottom left, the three-time WCS champion. The best player in the history of the United States of America. The first non-Korean to win a tournament on Korean soil in over 20 years when he won in 2017, or was it 18? One of those? In almost 20 years, something like that. Anyways, he's sponsored by Ting from the great state of New York. It is Neeb! Jimmy, who is a pretty standard macro Protoss, but he kind of defines that standard, so we'll see what he comes up with. PvP, the drunken tightrope walk with lightsabers over a lava pit with a Hans Zimmer soundtrack in the background. Very dramatic, very exciting. Very deadly. The adept duel in the shade. The shades through the trees, but who throws better shade is the question. Parting has preempted. Wait, he can still wall that, right? Meanwhile, Neeb pre-counters. Okay, you know one way to wall off against adepts? Adept shades. The only thing that walls adept shades is adept shades. The only counter, well, and also walls. But besides that, the only counter to a bad guy with an adept shade is a good guy with an adept shade. So, characteristically, Neeb is playing more defensive while Parting tried to make something happen on the other side. It just wasn't coming together. A 4 adept. I guess he's trying to see that he will use these to wall as well if Neeb comes across with his adepts. Parting gonna throw 6 adepts across the map, but Neeb is waiting, crouching, ready to strike like a jaguar. And Parting doesn't know. He doesn't know. Surprise! Surprise! Oh no! It's a disaster for Parting.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Oh, Neeb just jumps him in the trees, and he loses 3 adepts. Neeb has lost 2 adepts. Actually, I don't know if that went well. The 2. Who has more adepts now? Neeb has 3 more adepts, so I definitely know who that went better for. Wait, why is one of the adepts isn't shading? Just keeping him busy. Neeb is quite an adept whisperer, and has been since the start of Legacy of the Void when he switched from Terran to Protoss. Might be like, Neeb was Terran, and exactly why he... Oh, what a block! And you might be like... And now you know why he switched to Protoss. Meanwhile, another one. Trying to... Oh my god, think about this. So what Neeb is trying to do is get Parting to use his shades to block the single shade, so that way he can come in with the rest of the shades in order to actually get the damage done. Now we've passed the point where adepts are going to be your be-all end-all. Let's be honest here. But I still love the little moves. PvP is such a precarious matchup. Somehow, despite all the action early on, despite all of this, we're about even. Okay, like, let's look at the tech. Let's take a look at the whole tech tree here. We got a robotics facility. We got a forge. I imagine a Twilight is next on the agenda, over on the other side. A robotics facility, and guess what? A forge, with a Twilight already finishing. So parting significant... Wait, is this for Adept Glaives? He's thinking about it. He's got 450 gas, though. Which is a bit on the high side. No Glaives. Parting... We've seen Parting go for Adept Glaives before. There are timings you can hit before an Immortal Archon type of army really comes together. If you go for the Glaives build. Parting's going to get Charge, a Templar Archives. More standard in this case. Neeb, on the other hand, is... Well, he's got a Warp Prism. Oh my god, the Ghetto Blink Micro! Parting juggles the Stalkers in and out of the Prism. Kills Neeb's Prism. So we'll win there for the big boy. Meanwhile, the production tabs tell a story. Where is Neeb's charge? There it is. Neeb is just kind of behind on most things. He's going to have less production. He lost his Prism. He's about even on. He's even on workers. He's going to have +1 quicker, but not an upgrade advantage because Parting has been chrono boosting out. He'll catch up. Oh, but he got to Adeptson. Gets 3 probe kills. 4 probe kills. Wow. Neeb's also taking a third. He's going to have less gates. He's going to have a total of 6 against 8. Unsurprisingly, Parting's trying to lay down the damage. He's taking his own third, but Neeb has gotten a little bit of a lead there. What is in here? Immortal and 2 Zealots. I mean, 2 Adepts. This is an Immortal, a Stalker, and a Zealot. But who's the middle child? Definitely the Zealot. Everybody made fun of that Zealot. Like, haha, your legs suck. You can't even run. And then once charge finished, he showed them. That was not a fully fleshed out bit there. But these Zealots aren't fully fleshed out until they get charge done. Neeb. Oh wait, Parting has 6 gates. Neeb has 8. Hey, why does Parting only have 6 gates? He's adding 2 on now, interestingly. I guess he wanted to get... He lost a couple probes. Parting is the one being aggressive, but Neeb has a bigger army. Which kind of summarizes these players, I guess. Both are going to have +2 at a similar time. It depends a little on the chrono boost here, so Parting's caught up on that. Meanwhile, Neeb just kind of walks up to Parting and says, "Hello, have you seen my Zealots?" Oh. That wasn't rhetorical, or that was rhetorical. Whatever one makes more sense. The Zealots are just nibbling at all of Parting's units, chasing him across the map. There's not even a sentry here, but Neeb's not going to take that risk. So Parting walked up, provoked Neeb. Neeb chased him across the map, and then Parting gave him a Pikachu face. Like, oh my god, I can't believe you built units! I'm not entirely sure what he meant to accomplish there. He didn't send any hallucinations, I guess. Like, Neeb is going to have the +2 marginally quicker. It's actually going to finish as this fight is going on, whereas Parting is still a few seconds off, which does make a big difference. Neeb just kind of gets up there with hold position, trying to make sure the Archons aren't firing at the Zealots right off the bat. And Parting... Neeb just kind of pushes him back into whatever molehill he came from. Okay.
Oh,
it felt like Parting was not comfortable with that type of game.
WNTR love WNTR.
To be honest, thank you, Prairie Dogs. How appropriate. Alright. So Neeb just kind of wins. I don't know where Parting went particularly wrong. Well, He went wrong by moving out with an army and not having a bigger one. As somebody has said at one point, more stuff counters less stuff. Is Parting cannon rushing? Or is this just where he built his pylon? I think he may have built his pylon like this last time. I don't think he's cannon rushing. I would love to see it. Yeah, Neeb just kind of... honestly, I bet Neeb was surprised. Neeb was surprised to see a smaller army on his front door. I don't think he was complaining either. Any game that just kind of goes to 3 base without a whole lot of damage happening on either side, I think favors Neeb. That's Neeb's wheelhouse, right? Like, oh, I got 3 bases and I got all my production up, so now I will just kind of build more stuff than you. It's not taking away from Neeb, like, his micro or anything. It's just he's a very solid macro player. The second pylon placement. Now, the whole meta, building your second pylon is obviously important, but the question is, where do you build that second pylon, and why? Sometimes you build it in random places just to confuse your opponent. Sometimes you want to proxy something. And so far, a standard PvP build where Neeb is building in the top left, and Parting is building in the bottom right, though it does not seem like Parting has an intention of, well, we'll see in a moment. He's also looking for Neeb's second pylon, because Neeb's second pylon could be up here as well. This is a very balanced matchup that is consistent and easy to navigate for everyone. It looks like Neeb is also going to proxy a Stargate on the opposite side. Okay, so I don't know. This is just standard PvP. Neeb Stargate is a little later, and he also went Stalkers, whereas Parting is going for the Adepts, the much more aggressive option, whereas the Stalkers are... Oh. Wait, Parting... What am I watching? So now we're... Whose pylon is it anyways? But Parting brings the probe in again to try to block. And the Adepts are coming around. This is getting to be a little dangerous here. Parting will put down the pylon, which he can... Oh, but Neeb just kind of... Okay, so that is a... The probe killed it. The other probe, by the way. And then Neeb just kind of walked up with 2 Stalkers, which is more than 2... Which... Wait, here comes an Oracle from Parting! But here comes an Oracle from Neeb! So... Okay, all I need to do right now is I need to see Florencio's... I need to read Florencio's palm. Okay, so Neeb just killed Parting's pylon, and now Neeb is killing Neeb's pylon. After the Oracle of Neeb killed the probes, but here come the Oracles from Parting. And GG, obviously. Alright. Another standard game from Neeb. Game 3. Neeb's up 2-0. So I'm going to use that opportunity to bring up a story about Special, who isn't even on in this match. At Home Story Cup 20, which I had the privilege to attend, Special, of course, for some reason, decided to bring a box of Mexican candy. Well, he said it was Mexican candy, all right? And he's just like handing it out. For some reason, he decided, I'm going to bring candy into another country. So then he was passing it out to people because he wanted people to try the Mexican candy. The candy was just very spicy. It was not sugary or sweet of any kind. It was just like, it was like spicy jerky. How is that candy? So that candy was essentially PvP. You're like, oh, it's a matchup. We got a handle on it. Like, what do you expect? And then suddenly, it's Special's candy. Whatever that Mexican spice attack was. That's PvP. I don't know the name. I probably would screw it up even if I did. But that last game reminded me of that a little bit. I don't know what I expected, but this definitely wasn't it. Both players, I guess, have taken a break from their madness. Or sanity, pick one. And built a second pylon in their main. So, okay. I guess we're just going to play a macro game. I shouldn't have said that. Okay, the probe is now trapped by Parting's probe. He's got some serious problems. Is he going to... Neeb, recall it! Recall it! He's going to see the stalkers. Everybody's building sentries, and I don't know what to say. I'm just reading the production tab right now. Okay, now Neeb has 2 sentries. Are you allowed to do this? He just... Like, he has more sentries than any other unit. You now get it... Okay, well, I mean, I'm just giving you the updates in case you're listening to this like a radio cast in 1938. And it looks like Neeb is going to be coming in with the Phoenix. The Phoenix spotting the expansion out of Parting. A bold, aggressive move coming in here. But Neeb is well known for his macro plays. Why did we talk like this back in the 30s? It's unclear. Three sentries, 3 stalkers, both sides going for Forge and Twilight. Forge significantly quicker for Parting. This is kind of how you're supposed to play PvP. But, and then Parting's like, but wait. Blink. And Neeb's like, but wait. Blink. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh. Well. It's time to duel. Parting, well known for his Blink Stalkers, and Blink Stalkers make miracles, but the only counter to a bad guy with Blink Stalkers is a good guy with Blink Stalkers. I honestly, we're just going to have to let it play out. It looks like they're both going to do almost exactly the same build. And then eventually they'll fight. And somebody will win. I've described most of StarCraft, besides the same build part. But Robo, Both sides adding on gate. Well, Parting's going to add on gates as soon as he kills this Phoenix. 1, 2. I think at this point, the amount of Phoenixes has kind of shown it's going to be Blink as well. Not Charge. The Phoenixes have seen the Stalker count and revealed that it's likely Blink. And then we're going to duel. I don't know if Neeb, like... Was there a handshake agreement? Don't shake hands. Stop doing that. Don't worry, I don't think Neeb would want to. Did they both just mess each other like, we're gonna go Blink this next game? I seriously doubt it. Is there some meta I'm not aware of? It's possible. But sometimes the stars align. Parting is transitioning in, well, not transitioning, but adding on his Templar Archives and Charge. Neeb is adding a Prism. So Neeb is going to attack, whereas Parting is going to defend, which is a bit of a role reversal here. I feel like this significantly favors the defender. If everybody has Blink, then whoever's blinking defensively is usually better off. The Stalkers are spotted on the way across the map. Neeb is still adding on everything else. It's not like he's all in on this. Meanwhile, the high ground, any force field. Oh, but he blocks over the top. Parting is so bold. So beautiful. The Stalker count is higher for Neeb, but there's an Archon, which really is going to mess up the numbers. Neeb takes a page out of Parting's book that he just wrote a second ago. Unfortunately, though, the sentries are here, and there's a little bit of a smattering of units over the top. Whose blink is it anyways? Neeb blinking back. Oh, I've got something in my eye. That was a terrible joke. Charge is on the way. It looks like the blink duel is going to end a little early. Neeb realizing that Parting is working his way up to a more standard charge lot Archon situation, that he's probably not going to be able to stay on the Blink Stalkers forever. He's got Charge and Templar Archives on the way. Neeb just blinks back. The 3 Stalkers that Parting has blinks forward. Kill a Stalker. Why not? Neeb going to use the hallucinated Phoenix to spot the army. If Neeb does the same thing again, don't... Like deja vu. Oh, wait, Neeb blinks back. Oh, he bites back with the charge lots. Wait a second. I'm not sure who got a better trade there. So far, Neeb has lost 8 Stalkers. Parting has lost 7 Zealots and 6 Stalkers. So, the duel, like the evolving micro here is pretty great. Because Parting doesn't have many Stalkers, but as he blinks, now Neeb is blinking. The Zealots put the blink on the high ground over the... Oh, he blinks out of the shots! Oh, he's blinking across the map. The stutter step in the most dramatic fashion. +2 finishing for both sides. What is the gateway count? 8 for everyone. Neeb has built... Well, he has a Templar Archives and Charge, but you wouldn't know it. Based on his army composition, the Prism, he gets the Archon, which is probably more valuable. Meanwhile, the Prism, but the Guardian Shield helps a lot. The Stalkers blink to the side. More Stalkers coming in for Parting. The Stalkers for Neeb are not getting involved. They got distracted by a hallucinated Phoenix. Does he have enough Stalkers? Getting on top of the Arca. Blink to the side. What is happening? Okay. Neeb has way more Stalkers, but the Archons and Charge Lots are not quick to kill. Meanwhile, blinks left and right. It's hard to keep up with who's blinking, where, and why. Just let it happen. Just see it, understand it, let it flow through you. Because there's no way to comprehend it. Okay, Neeb, forward. Force fields are but a suggestion, as both sides can kind of just teleport. The Observer doing extra work here for Parting. But it's not like Neeb can take it. I don't think he has any obs. He does not. He just has a whole bunch of Stalkers. Meanwhile, Parting is growing his Stalker count. He has 3 more probes, which isn't a huge factor, but it could end up being one. Meanwhile, though... Oh, a Warp Prism from Neeb because warping in just wasn't quick enough. Not a great blink from Neeb. I think he's underestimating the Stalker count of Parting. In fact, Parting has more Well, Neeb warps in another round of Stalkers. It's getting dangerously close. The duel begins. The great duel begins. Who's gonna win? A little bit of shield battery action. No guardian shields. Who's blinking forward? Blinks back. And Archon bullies forward. Takes a lot of damage. No guardian shield on either side. Shield battery helping out a little bit. The warpins are gonna be critical. Archon goes down. More stalkers. Neeb's dropping in supply. What's the unit count? Another warpin. Parting's warping in at the back. He's got a little bit less time. The concave goes in favor of Parting just a little bit. The stalkers on both sides. The duel continues. Blinking back, blinking up. Parting shooting from all angles. The shield battery getting in the way. The probes were pulled. Neeb is losing everything. Parting's blinking forward. It's unclear, but I think it's starting to clear up. You blink a few times, and you'll find the answer. Parting wins the duel. He pushed Neeb back. Neeb tried to engage him on his turf. The Blink Stalker duel. And he just couldn't keep up. Parting. The student does not beat the master this time around, and Parting takes a game. Oh my god. Just like the good old days. I like how Parting went into... The thing is, against a strong Blink player, charge lots do get whittled down. I don't think it was just like, oh, you're going Blink, I'll go Blink. It was also, when you get a critical mass of stalkers like Neeb had, charge lots aren't nearly as effective. It, what am I saying? Use your words. It kind of tilts past, like when you have when you have 12 stalkers and they have charge lots, you can barely one-shot charge lots, if that. When they have like 20 stalkers, they can just pick off units with each volley. And then suddenly you're back to needing things like Blink Stalkers, especially if you don't have Immortals. What a series. I'm surprised Neeb decided to just go down that road, but he's up 2-1. Well, he was up 2-0, so it's not a huge risk. He's got a couple games to burn. Interesting that Parting uses the pylon as part of the wall. Is this an anti-cannon rush method? It may be. I'm not sure exactly the logic, because there are some cannon rushes that can, for example, you can build 2 pylons, use a gateway if it's built here as part of it, and you can cannon rush them using their own gateway against them. Can I fit them on the same screen? Oh. Alright. Well, that's a Robo, and that's a Stargate. Wait, no, that's a Gateway, and that's a Stargate. So whose gate is better? Neeb decides to cancel a Stalker to get the gas for Warp Gate. He wanted to make it look like he was getting Warp Gate and not Stargate, but I'm pretty sure Parting noticed he wasn't building Warp Gate for a split second. Neeb doing some little cancel mind games with that, and then when he had the gas, he went back to Stalker. It's pretty obvious for both sides here that there is shenanigans afoot, as there's no second pilot in the main. We're back to wherever we were before that last game, where you just put your pylon wherever you want, and you let Protoss, whatever deity controls the Protoss, work out the rest. Neeb is going for an Oracle, whereas he's building in his mineral line a shield battery, so he's afraid of Stargate from Parting as well. Whereas Parting found the Stargate, but the Oracle finished. It's gonna take a lot of damage. Oh, but not enough. Oh no, the battery's not done. There's no energy for recall. Even a badly bruised Oracle still does plenty of deeps. The mining time plus 4 probes lost. The Stargate was found a split second too late. And Neeb now knows exactly what he's up against. And Twilight on the way. I wonder how Parting's going to try to solve this problem. Neeb is supply blocked, which means, well, his warp gate's just now finishing, but he still is going to struggle to warp in. The Stalkers don't even care about the Nexus until they can work up a sentry on the way! Oh, wait, no! Oh, he gets the sentry! The probes are pulled! The battery's coming online! The Stalker must live! No! It loses the Stalker! He does have the full shield battery. Parting doesn't care about your expansion. He cares about winning the match. And Immortal's on the way. Neeb, desperate to hold. The battery running out of energy. Interesting force field. I guess he just didn't have anything left. The probes are holding. Neeb is losing a whole lot of them, though. What is the energy? He cancels the Nexus. That was never going to happen anyways. The Immortal being chrono boosted. Neeb on his last legs. Literally. Probes don't have legs. And he lost his Stalker. He taps it out. Neeb ties it, or Parting rather, 2-2. Game 5. We're going to match point. I want to take this time to thank ESL and Apollo, the Lord and Savior of StarCraft. Thank you, Apollo, for putting together the ESL Pro Tour. If you haven't seen my video, you can see it on YouTube somewhere. But who wants to know about the administrative things? But for those who don't know, the ESL Open happens with each region every week. And because of COVID-19 and the lack of offline events, now every region has a $200 a week tournament that has points flowing into a larger major event every few months. So it draws all the top players. There is not region locking. The tournaments are hosted. You could participate. I mean, Parting and Neeb are participating as well, but you could have a chance to make them waste their time in the first round. It's one of my favorite things to do. So, what I'm trying to say is check the ESL site for the times on that. There are some players who play in all 3 Korea, Americas, and Europe tournaments every week, or at least some weeks, which is almost like a 24-hour experience. It's like a StarCraft marathon. Many players will play in at least one, their home region as well. I don't know if anyone's achieved the Triple Crown yet of winning all 3 ESL Opens in one day. But there's been like I think Scarlet won 2. I'm pretty sure Clem, but I'm not 100% on that. Scarlet won KR and Americas in one day. It's and now with more prize, more players are playing, making it harder actually. But took all that time to get those words out. Meanwhile, Parting is just going to build a pylon here. We're on Zen, by the way, in case you didn't notice the game. This game decides who moves on, gets those precious points and that chunk of change. Parting just did what Neeb did with the gateway. Wait, but why? Oh, he decided to cancel and go for a Stalker. What did he see? What have you seen? Tell me your secrets. Oh, I guess he didn't have the resources because he was proxying the robo. Yeah, very similar. Meanwhile, a robotics facility in Neeb's main. He's looking for... Well, the probe is scouring the map. It has found nothing. Everybody is scouring the map because that's just PvP. A defensive robo is obviously a good place to be. We will see. Even if he doesn't scout it. This is such... There's a tree casting shade upon it. But will the Adepts cast shade upon it? That's the question. Oh, Parting didn't have the minerals for a pylon! And he lost the probe. It's a disaster. Oh, this is why you wall off. This is exactly why. Oh, no. And he's the one proxying. Oh, that split second. 6 probes for nothing. I mean, for the adepts, but you want to lose. Neeb's ecstatic. And then, oh no, insult to injury. The probe finds the immortal on right outside of the robotics facility, and now Neeb knows exactly what he's dealing with. Parting lost probes and the element of surprise. Is there... Neeb is in pole position. There's some magical warp prism micro that he could maybe pull off. He went for a warp prism immediately after, knowing time is of the essence. But it's gonna have to be. He doesn't have blink. Warp prism is close, but I don't know how many miracles he can make against a player who's going for the same tech with more workers defensively. Neeb has a battery. He has an immortal. Like, he just has more units. There's not much microing your way. He has to try to somehow dodge the stalker shots while the immortal doesn't hit him. I don't know. What are you gonna do, Parting? He's building a Stargate back in his base, by the way. Killing that hallucination was pretty big. Like, you gotta do something crazy. You gotta try to catch your opponent. There's a sentry in case Neeb makes the mistake of going down the ramp, which I seriously doubt he will do. Neeb's just letting the gateway go in favor of getting a better position to engage the army at the bottom of the ramp. Oh. Oh, no. He just warped in on the wrong side. There's not even a recall. There's no energy. This is an utter disaster. Neeb. And he scouts the Stargate with the Adept Shades that are killing the probes. Oh. Everything has gone wrong for the big boy here. What do you even do now? What do you even do? I'm surprised the Adepts didn't force a GG, but Parting still has a Warp Prism, 2 Immortals, and a Dream. I think Neeb wants to go for the Colossus force field breaking move. Oh, whoa, 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 that Warp Prism is very important! Neeb recalls the Immortals. Okay, that's something. If he could have gotten the Immortals as well, that would have been a whole heap and helping. But the Warp Prism is good. And that helps a little. There's a Robo Bay on the way, but now Neeb has to play defensive. And he doesn't have an Expo, so there is a scenario in which Parting can drag this back now. That Warp Prism was the difference. The Warp Prism allows Neeb to be aggressive and have plenty to defend. Because at any point, the Warp Prism keeps Parting's units either back at home or committed to an attack. But Neeb is going for Colossus, and this isn't because he thinks Colossi are good, it's because he thinks they're good at breaking force field. Especially if he's contained at the bottom of his ramp, for example. Neeb is one of the few players, I've seen a couple players try this before. Oh no, the Prism! Parting doesn't recall. Wait, does he not have the energy? Oh no. Well. All that progress made. Can't believe Parting lost the Prism. Pretty big mistake. He loses the Prism and 2 Immortals, which more than makes up for the losses of Neeb. There are Phoenixes, but now that he has no Immortals to kind of backstop his army, and the Robo, by the way, is in the middle of the map. Neither side feels comfortable with expanding yet. There is now no longer a robotics facility. The Warp Prism is taken out. There's not enough anti-air to actually kill Phoenixes. And the Phoenix is going to be not the worst counter to Colossi, because the Colossi are too tall and can be hit by Phoenixes, despite, and this is a balance complaint, the fact that they cannot headbutt them, which I think is bad design. There should be a Colossus headbutt upgrade. Maybe put put a spike on their heads. Like the Colossus becomes the rhinoceri. Well, anyways, you know where I was going with that. You got the idea. The rhinoceros. That was pretty low hanging. Neeb is long distance mining. Parting doesn't have enough probes to make that a big issue. Phoenixes are great. Neeb is actually kind of waffling a little. Not that I think it's going to matter. Why blink? Why not? He's like, well, I don't know. What else am I going to do? Go DTs? That's never going to work. 2 more gates for parting. He's on 1 base. You're running out of minerals, my friend. A couple mineral patches literally about to dry up. 30 minerals left. There's just not too much else going on. The Colossus steps over the force field. There's no stopping this now. Neeb juggles it back when he needs it. He's got his portable force field breaker, but his force fields lock in the death of parting. It was a bit of a time coming, but Neeb locks down the 3-2, taking out parting in a dramatic and eye-opening, and then rapidly closing, and then rapidly opening again. And then kind of repeating that in some sort of fashion. They should name something more concise. Protoss versus Protoss. But thank you to ESL for those ESL Open Cups. Thank you to the players for showing great games for the fans. And thank you for hitting that like, subscribe, and ringing the bell and saying PvP. Oh, just the most incredible matchup. I feel like I just had a revelation. My eyes were opened and then closed and then opened again. Like, everything I wanted to see, and then more. Thank you. Good luck, have fun.